Hey, I'm Steve Krenz for GuitarGathering.com. Thank you so much for being part of us, with us tonight, as we are going to be talking about speed and a special finger picking technique and a pattern that you can use that you can get very fast when you're doing finger picking. There is no PDF for this lesson, so you can just watch and follow along. But if you can, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel and click that little bell notification. That way you get notified every time that we go live. So it's a little way that we can keep in contact. We generally do shows on Tuesday night and Wednesday night. So if you have your guitar, let's go ahead and get started. Let me play a little bit using this technique, and then I'll show you what I'm doing. All right, here's the pattern. Here's the pattern. We're going to use thumb and middle. That's all we're using. Thumb and your middle finger. Thumb, middle finger. Usually, when we're doing fingerstyle, we do alternate patterns, and we do thumb 2, 1, 3, and thumb 1, 2, 3, and things like that. This one, we're not doing any of that. It's an alternating pattern just between thumb and 2, thumb and middle. Okay, thumb and middle. So what we're going to do to practice this, and I want you to do it with me. We're going somewhere with this, so just try and get the pattern of it first. Here's the idea. Let's say I have an open D chord over here. Okay, I'm going to try and turn a little bit so you can see what my hand is doing. It's a 4-move pattern using just the thumb and your middle finger. I'm going to hit it's a 4-string chord, a D, so I'm going to hit my thumb on the D string, the 4th string. Okay? Then I'm going to do an upstroke with my second finger on the 2nd string. So that's the first move. Okay? Now I'm going to move my thumb down to the 3rd string. And then I'm going to move my second finger down to the 1st string. Okay? So where they were, it's always 1 string apart. Okay? Thumb, second, thumb, second, thumb, second, thumb, second. Okay? That's the pattern. Thumb, second. Just do that. Do that with me. Don't watch. Do it with me. Thumb, second, thumb, second, thumb, second, thumb. Don't go fast. I know you wanting to. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. Trust me. You got to get the motion first. Thumb, second, thumb, second, thumb, second, thumb, second. Is there a way, maybe producer, we can get, I'm not sure if we have in this cam over here where you can see the back of my hand. That's what I want them to see. Thumb, second, thumb, second, thumb, second, thumb, second, thumb, second, thumb, second. So you're alternating strings. 4th string, 2nd string, 4th string, 2nd string, 4th string, 2nd string, 3rd string, 1st string. Sorry, it alternates. 4th, 2nd, 3rd, 1st, 4th, 2nd, 3rd, 1st. So you're not just going, you're alternating strings. See if I can see where you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so what if I did it on a C chord? So now I'm going to play a C chord over here, and I'm going to switch to these middle strings. thumb, 2, thumb, 2. Okay, I'll go back front here. That's all the pattern is. One string, the lowest string, the 2 strings from that, so in this case the 5th string, the 3rd string, the 4th string, the 1st string, or 2nd string. One of our guys is saying the Lindsey Buckingham landslide style. Yes, that's exactly right. Okay, just get that pattern. What if I did it? What if I switched to a G chord and I kept my top strings where they're at, but I'm now going to be on the 6th string with my lowest thumb move. So now it's 6th string, 3rd string, 4th, 2nd. That's the pattern. One of the questions coming through is there a reason why I'm using the middle and instead of the others? Okay, I'm using thumb and middle. Okay, now you can do thumb and index or thumb and ring, but for my purposes right now, I'm doing thumb and middle, and then I'm alternating strings. Now, I could also do it, thumb, 2, 1, 3. I could do that. This is a different way to do that, and with this way, I can get a lot of speed and a lot of power doing this really quickly. Faster than, for me, than I could do thumb 2, 1, 3. I can do thumb 2, thumb 2. Okay? So we're going to go back to our G chord. Okay, you play this with me. We're going 6th string, 3rd string, 4th string, 2nd string on a G chord. Okay, now we're going to go to a C chord. C chord, you play it with me. Thumb, 2, thumb, 2, thumb. Let's go to that D chord, which is 4-string chord. 2nd, 3rd string, 1st string, 4th string, 2nd string. Now I know that seems confusing since we're skipping strings. And it's a little awkward, I know, at the beginning. You'll kind of be clunking around and trying to find the right strings. So your hand is kind of making this figure 8. Do-dat, 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 up or down. Up and you're kind of going back and forth, up and down as you're going on these alternating strings. Thumb 2, thumb 2. Okay? All right. Now, we're going to switch between chords again. Okay? We're going to do that again. We're going to switch between chords, and then we're going to start doing some things with them. Okay? So we're going to start on the D. Or actually, let's start on the G first. 1, 2, G, go. 6th, 3rd, 4th, 2nd. Do that with me. Come on, don't just look. Nobody learns from looking. You got to get into the messy part of actually playing it. Try and get it as steady as you can. Every note ringing out clearly. Okay, E minor 2, ready, go. Alternating strings, but you're only using thumb and 2. Let's go to C chord, 5th string, 3rd string, 4th string, 2nd string, 5th string, 3rd string, 4th string, 2nd string. Back to G. There you go. You're getting it now. Okay, D chord. So now we're on the upper strings. Your hand kind of starts to get this little bounce in it. That's what I'm looking for. Maybe a D minor. A little bit faster. C chord. Oh, now I'm on the upper strings. Sorry. 5th string, 2nd string, 3rd string, 1st string. A minor. Maybe an F. C chord, a little bit faster. A minor. A minor. G chord. F chord. C. A little bit faster. A minor. G. F. C. A minor. D minor. D minor. G. Okay, we'll let your hand rest here for a little bit. Okay, good job. That's the pattern, okay? Not a complicated pattern at all. And you'll find, I know it's going to be clunky right now. It's going to be clunky. Just practice that pattern a little bit over the next few days. And over the next week or two, it's going to start getting more where you have this little bounce in it. And so your hand is making this little bounce. Okay, all right, let's go to round 2. You ready? Stretch out your fingers a little bit. We've stressed them a bit, so let's stretch them out. Do this with me, fingertip to fingertip. Stretch them out, stretch them out. Don't try to break your hands. Don't break your hands. Come on, you're going to need those. All right. Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to start adding things to this, okay? One of the things that we can do to this basic pattern, okay, is we're going to start just moving our fingers around over here. Just whatever finger is free. So if I'm on a D, well, what could I do? Well, if I put my pinky down on that 3rd fret, I end up with a D suspended. D, then I put my pinky down. Hey, what if I take my 2nd finger off? Then I'm left with a... Okay, do you see? All I'm doing is just moving things that could be moved, all right? So let's just do those first moves, okay? So start on a D chord. Let's get our pattern going. Thumb, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Thumb, 2, thumb, 2, thumb, 2, thumb, 2. Add that pinky down to make a D suspended. So the pinky is just on the 1st string, 3rd fret. Back to D, just take it off. Add that pinky on. Relax that hand. Back to, take it off. Back to a D. Okay, this time, we're going to take the 2nd finger off and we're going to go to open string. 1, 2, 2nd finger off. Which is a D2 chord, if you're keeping track. Hey, let's add that pinky. Make it a D suspended. And thumb, 2, thumb, 2, thumb, 2, thumb, 2. Back to the D chord with the 2nd finger. D2 with that open string. Take a 2nd finger off. Cool. Okay. Those are some things that we can do on the, on the first string. I just messed around with notes on the first string. Based around this seed shape of a D chord. Well, what can we do on the second string? What can I play with there? I can take my second finger off and on. Gets kind of from D to a D6. It's not quite as interesting. Hey, what if I put my second finger on the second string, second fret? So like where it was there, I take my third finger off and move my second finger up. You see what I'm doing? And then back to D. Thumb, two, thumb, two, thumb, two, thumb, two. Go to that second finger on the second string, second fret. Everything else is off. Pretty little A with a D in the bass, sort of a chord. What if I just took my second finger off? So all I'm left with is my first finger. An interesting sound. What if I put my second finger back on? What if I went back to my D chord? D suspended. Back to D. Back to my second finger underneath that, on that second string. Fourth string, second string, third string, first string. Fourth string, second string, third string, first string. That's the picking pattern. Thumb, two, fourth, second, third, first, fourth, second. Okay, so what was I doing there? Hey, I was just messing around. For a while there, I moved my first finger down here to the first string on the second fret. And then I just kind of went up in the key of D. So I went up two more frets, two more frets, two more frets, one fret. Back to D. Cool. It's not everything in guitar playing, but it's a little trick that you can use in your playing. Okay, we've messed around with the first string, we've messed around with things on the second string, we've messed around with fingers going various places. What if I messed around with things on the third string? Well, there's not much that I can do. I could take what if I take my, you do it with me, Let's get the pattern going. Thumb, two, thumb, two, thumb, two, thumb, two. Fourth, second, third, first, fourth, second. Okay, I want you to take your first finger off. Take your first finger off. First finger back on. First finger off. On. Hey, let's have the D suspended with our pinky on the first string. Back to D. Second finger off. D2. Second finger underneath the first finger on the second string. What if I just did everything off with my second finger on the first string? Back to the D. Take the first finger off. So you see, we get a lot of there's a lot of beauty right there, right? Okay, we're not doing anything. All we're doing is thumb two, but it's that alternating pattern. And once I start getting creative and just letting my mind explore a little bit with some fingers, you'll be amazed at the things that you can come up with. So part of this exercise is about the technical part of it, thumb two, and the alternating string. But part of the exercise is also getting some creativity to start oozing from you. Some of the best times you can have practicing are when you put away your book, put away your materials that you're working on, and you just start experimenting on the instrument. What if I move this up 1 fret? The whole chord. That doesn't work too well. What if I move it up another fret? That's not bad. Back down to D. Up 2 frets. Back down to D. Okay, so it's not everything's going to work, okay? A lot of things aren't. Most things aren't. But some things will, and it'll be magical. And you're creating, you're kind of experimenting. A note here, a note there. How does that affect the chord? How does it affect this sound? When I take, what if I add my pinky? That's a G. That's a G note. But that sounds different from when I take my first finger off and add the lower G. That's on the high G, low G. Do you hear how just the colors are changing? Okay, that's a little bit of what I want you to experiment with. Okay, all right, ready? Let's crank it up 1 more notch. Okay, I'm doing this D chord, and my thumb is on the 4th string. 4th, 2nd, 3rd, 1st, 4th, 2nd, 3rd, 1st. So he's just basically going back to the 4th. What if I alternate between the 4th and the 5th string? So it sounds like this. Everything else stays the same. Let me slow that down. 4th, 2nd, 3rd, 1st, 5th, 2nd, 3rd, 1st, 4th. Hey, what if I move that D chord around a little bit more? What if I move it around up 2 frets to the 4th fret? What if I move it up to the 7th fret? What if I move it up to the 9th fret? We're back down to D. So not every one of them is going to work, but a few of them do. So let's practice that together. So let's get the pattern going. Thumb, 2, thumb, 2, thumb, 2, thumb, 2. Move it up 2 frets. Move it up 3 frets, so now you're at the 7th fret. Up 2 more frets. Hey, just for fun, let's go up 1 more fret. So now you're at the 10th fret. Up another 2 frets. Now you're at the 12th fret. Back down to D. I'm just taking my 2nd finger off and on. And so you see, if I wrote out all those chords, you'd die. It's too complicated, and you'd end up with major 7ths with a flat 5 with a D in the bass and all this sort of stuff. If I tried to show you that on tab, you'd die. But yet all it is this shape in various places, and then maybe this shape, and then my second finger off. You end up with some pretty things along the way. Experiment with that. Improvise with this little pattern. It's just a little pattern. It's just a little tool, but you can do it on all kinds of chords. Let's switch to a different chord. Let's go to a C chord. Okay, so now we're going to go with a regular old C chord. Let's go back on the inner set of strings. Thumb 2, 5th, 3rd, 4th, 2nd. Just that pattern. Get it going. Okay, well, what can I do? My pinky's free, so what if I put my pinky on the 1st string at the 3rd fret? Actually, let's change our pattern here so I'm on the outside strings, thumb. Hey, whoa. Remember how we took a D and we went from the 4th string and we alternated with going down to the 5th string? I wonder if I could do that with the upper string. So what if I took a C chord that I'm doing the inside strings, and with my every other one I'm going to hit the 1st string. So it's going to be 5th string, 3rd string, 4th string, 2nd, 5th, 3rd, 4th, now 1st. Back to 2nd. Back to 1st. 3rd, 4th, 2nd, 5th, 3rd, 4th, 1st. So once I get that going, it sounds like this. Thumb, 2, 5th, 3rd, 4th, 2nd, 5th, 3rd, 4th, 1st. So I'm alternating that highest one between the 2nd and the 1st. Okay? But Steve, I can't follow you too fast and I'm getting the wrong pattern. I don't care. Okay? It's this isn't classical music. It's not Bach, okay? You don't have to play exactly what I'm doing, okay? The main thing is that you're alternating. I'll give you even a bigger hint, okay? It actually doesn't matter what you're hitting on these inner strings. The ear is only drawn to what is changing. So once I kind of get this drone pattern going, then the only thing the ear really hears is the change. Now, you're not even noticing that I'm adjusting my pattern on the inner strings here. Okay? That's just part of it, okay? The ear is not drawn to that. The ear is drawn to what is changing, what is moving, okay? I can move higher things. Okay, so all I'm doing is moving my pinky around. So let's get our pattern going. Alternating on the higher strings. Don't worry if you're not playing exactly what I'm playing. That's not the point. Put your pinky down on the third fret of the 1st string. Take them off. Add it back on. Hey, take your 1st finger off just for fun. First finger back on. Hey, put your pinky on the 3rd string. Take your pinky off. We had a suggestion there. Chris is giving us a suggestion. Okay, move the whole picture up 2 frets. A really cool D suspended. Down 2 frets, back down to a C. Hey, I wonder if I could move this around just like I moved the D chord. Sure, move it up 2 frets. Now, not every one of them is going to work. Move it up a half step and you'll see. Move it up a half step. Not too bad, but not great. Move it up another half step. That one doesn't work. What about another half step? That one kind of works. What if I went up 2 more steps? So not every one of the places that you move a chord can work, but a lot of them can, and you can end up with some cool chords. Okay, are you beginning to see some of the possibilities that could happen with this little pattern? Okay, let's go to a G chord. Let me do one more on the C. Do one more on the C. Hey, let's get our C chord going. Put your pinky on the 4th string, 3rd fret. A wonderful little C suspended. Pinky back on. Off. Now someone mentioned playing it with a pick. You could do this with a pick, if I can find a pick to do this. And then it would be basically thumb and index is holding the pick, and then 2 is still your middle finger. Okay, so it works just as well with a pick. Okay, so you can do it with a pick as well. The main thing is the alternating. That's the thing, that's the alternating. Okay, so we've got the C. If we add our pinky down the 4th string, we get a C suspended. Back to a C. Take your 1st finger off. Hey, add your pinky down on the 3rd string and your 1st finger back on. What's that song? Kiss Me? Same chord. Okay, it's a cheap way to get some speed in your playing, and it's not that really complicated to learn. It's a very relatively easy technique. All right, so what if I did? I could do maybe on a G chord. What can I do on a G chord? What if I had my 1st finger on the 2nd string? Take your 1st finger off. 1st finger on. Hey, what if I had my 1st finger and my 2nd finger on like a kind of a bottom half of a C chord? All I'm doing is on, off, 1 and 2, on, off. Okay, add some upper notes to it, experiment with some things around there, and I've got a wonderful little part. That's the general idea. You can get infinitely more complex. What if I did walk-ups and walk-downs? What if I get both things moving? 99% of what I played there was just thumb and 2. Now, it's not a pure Merle Travis technique, but it's a way to fake it. It's a way to fake it. And what I like about that simple little technique, which I don't do all the time, but I do definitely is in my repertoire of things to do. If I need to play something that's fast, and I need fast and powerful, then I will often switch into that sort of a technique. If I need to do a quick, powerful thing, because I can't do it, as well with just fingerpicky like that. I just can't get it going fast enough. This is more powerful for me to do in that. So this is just another tool to have in your toolkit. So I would encourage you to do that. Go through some different exercises. Go through some different chords. Just start moving things around. Move your fingers around. Some things will work, some things won't. But start moving things around, and you'll be amazed at the chords you can come up with. It's an A minor, first finger off, pinky on the 6th string. Kind of a bottom half of an F major 7th, but with these open strings. E suspended. E, A minor. Okay, so those are pretty chords. Those are some things you can go through. That's an A minor. Kind of a A, take my first finger off, add my pinky. Maybe go to an F major, first finger, 3rd finger on the 4th string, pinky on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Everything else open. Maybe a G, maybe an A minor. Maybe an E suspended. E, A, start. Hey, that sounded really cool. What was I doing? Moving it up. Taking the 2nd and 3rd finger, just moving it up. 2 frets. Another fret. 7th fret. 9th fret. 10th fret. 12th fret. There you go. There's a couple of concepts that we're kind of mixing around with this. One of them is this idea of a chord that can be moved with some open strings. It's a kind of a shape chord is what we call it in the biz. I can take an E, I can move it up 2 frets, down a fret. You can get some good, cool things out of that. I did a fretboard workout series on money chords. One of the aspects of the money chords was these shape chords. And so if you're interested in learning a little bit more about that, check out that fretboard workout. The link is in the links down below for moving these shape chords around. Anyway, this is the pattern. Thumb, 2, thumb, 2. Try to alternate between strings. I don't care how you alternate. You can alternate, on the 5th string to the 2nd string, 3rd string, 1st, or 4th string, 2nd string, 3rd string, 1st, or 5th string, 3rd string, 4th string, 2nd string. I don't care. Okay? Experiment around. Start moving fingers around. See if you can come up with some creativity on your own. See if you can develop a little chord progression that you like, that is something that is meaningful to you, by just moving chords around, moving fingers around, and using that little pattern. Hey, I'm Steve Krenz for Guitar Gathering. Learn all you can. So appreciate you guys. We will see you all next time.